Hi, Gayle Fuguitt, President, CEO of the Advertising Research Foundation. It is officially day one and unofficially day three here at Cannes.
Hi, I'm Srishti Gupta with IRI, and I'm here at Cannes with the ARF.
I'm Bologna. I am the Chief Strategy Officer at iCrossing, and I'm delighted to be here on the French Riviera with the ARF.
So let's start with you, and you've talked about the consumer as the disruptor.
Yes.
And C2B instead of B2C.
Yes.
So say a little bit about that, the role of the consumer, how we get to the consumer.
As a strategist, we've been talking about the consumer being in control. Well,
Right.
It hasn't been until the internet scaled in 2000 that we have a generation of people, a generation of consumers who actually finally have the tools and the technology to literally be in control. So it is a consumer to business economy.
How does television fit into that?
Television absolutely has a role, but the experience of ads has gotten so much worse. So if you're going to use a media, it goes back to one of the old adages about communication is use the media well, and now it's use that moment well.
Srishti, you're doing real-time measurement, and how does that fit in?
So the consumer is in control, and she brought up context, right? It has to be the right content and the right context, right? Both of those things have to come together. Yeah. And that creates a very interesting dynamic to be able to optimize much, much faster. But that cannot be done if the measurement doesn't exist. So that is where we have been focused a lot, and you mentioned IRL Lift, on taking that context and content together, but then being able to optimize it in real time.
Where are you getting the data? What scale is it at? Are we still talking about samples and sample projections? What are the data sources, and how do you know that they're actually predicting consumer behavior?
The biggest change is the move from sample to census, or near census, right, as much as possible, and purchase data at the most granular level.
How are you actually connecting screen behavior and media consumption?
So each and every click, right, each and every impression that they saw, and marrying those data sets, that leads to a true attribution.
Of every brand having its a brand OS, an operating system. The hardware is the data, and we say to our clients, you've got to have the right data in the right place to do the right thing. Software is strategy and the imagination, the insights, and what you do with all of that data and the insights. The user interface is activation, how you go to market, and then optimization is any good operating system is always upgraded constantly. Sort of this notion of a living, breathing thing, an operating system for each brand. Helping clients get their data house in order is really job one. So one of my questions for you was, what advice do you have for clients in leveraging data?
A lot of our clients, as an example, have very, very rich CRM data that is really not being utilized anywhere, right?
Yes.
I almost feel like data still, we talk about big data, but it still lives in its silos. Those data sets have to speak to each other. They have to link. The strategy has to be a holistic data strategy. It cannot be in those particular silos.
How about a prediction?
Being able to leverage the digital technology to enhance my life, to make my life simpler and better. I think the future of marketing is to be able to build experiences that feel more like digital and omni-channel experiences that feel more like going to an Apple store than the DMV. I think orchestration and systems thinking is the new strategy. You cannot get to singular answers linearly.
What is systems thinking?
That if you bring in disparate points of view, diverse points of view, you actually crack a problem open and you solve it in a way that you could not otherwise have solved it.
What would you say is the key to your personal success?
I think it's change. I think I'm not afraid to change. I've always followed where I think the industry is going.
Follow your passion. And I've always, like you, I have reinvented myself probably every 7 years. But I also have always felt that my best work is ahead of me. I've never felt like I've achieved or accomplished anything. But I feel like I'm just starting in the business. And I actually think the industry, I think the marketing industry is at ground zero. And that's what's exciting to me, is because we can all help shape the future of an entire industry.
So any failures along the way?
For me, failing fast has always been good. As hard as it is to, acknowledge that.
Somebody told me once that I don't have a rearview mirror. And
yeah.
I think that's probably
That's
true.
good.
I just look forward. It's not that you fail, it's what you do
Yeah.
when something isn't working. And I
Right.
guess it's really about growing. You know,
Yeah.
never stop growing.
Let's talk about women and minorities, diversity,
Yeah.
and how they're being portrayed in the media today.
I mean, I love the advertising business, but I've never liked how advertising has always stereotyped people. I mean, we're humans, and we're drawn to excessive amounts of humanity.
As more and more content is consumer generated, consumer driven, right, it has to then mirror what the society looks like. So I'm actually really optimistic about it.
It's almost like the digital world has allowed us to take the veneer off of, the filter off of what the world looks like. You
Yes.
talked about humanity.
Yes.
We have to add much more emotion to the digital world.
What's the one word that you think will lead us optimistically and intelligently into the future?
Completely immersive experience.
Immersion.
It's about seamless experiences. The other one is innovation.
And Bologna, Srishti Gupta. It's so great to hear from both of you.
Yes.
Optimistically facing forward on the
Yes.
beach of Cannes.